going on, guys? This is Jack YGO here. So yeah, I'm gonna get right to the point. I came third place at a DCS tournament this weekend. It's a pretty big Facebook tournament page, and they really pushed this one tournament that I found out about them earlier in the week, and then my brother David and I joined. So we played that. And it was a 22-person tournament. I thought it was going to be about like 50 plus, but it ended up being like 22. I guess a bunch of people just couldn't show up. But anyways, it was 22 person, and I came third place. Got cash prize, so that was pretty good. Round one was against David. We were playing each other, and he actually was my only loss in Swiss. He was playing Buster Blader. You won the die roll. Oh no, I won the die roll, but I opened awkward both games, like very awkwardly.
Yeah, and I opened like nuts both games.
Yeah, and he opened absolutely crazy, like extra both games. He was playing, it was the Dragoon Buster Blader, so that really took over me. Game two, the guy dropped, so before we actually started playing, so that was a round. I won that one. Game three was against a Mech Knight OTK. He hand trapped me twice, and then droplets me game one, but I actually ended up taking that match in time. We had connection errors, but still got an extra 5 minutes to make up. So anyways, took that in time. Next one, another guy dropped right last minute, so I was lucky enough to get a bye again. And it was very last minute drop, so that was lucky for me. The last game in Swiss was against an Altergeist player. I actually 2-0'd the Altergeist player. I opened really nuts against him both games. He opened pretty good too, but not so much game two, but still. I was going second both games, so works for me, I guess. So yeah, anyways, got to the top four cut. I played against Drytron Megalith Drytron. He won the die roll. I gammed him. This was one of the craziest matches I've played on TV.
It's actually nuts.
I took game one going second. I gammed his Thuban. Game two, I actually thought I had game. I drilled him twice in game two, but then I couldn't really do much next turn. I passed. Made sure he didn't OTK me. Anyways, game two, I set up a board, clearing his board, and he ended up playing double Meteonis. I had a Shen face up, and he went double Meteonis Drytron in one turn, and he had both of them in his hand too. I'm like, I thought you only play one in that deck. I could never see someone play two, right? So that really went in his favor that game. Then game three, I never went full combo on this guy, which kind of sucked, but I still got like good combos off. Game three, I ended up getting huge advantage against him and thought I had him. I had a Savage Dragon and a Shen with a Genghis face up. He had 2 cards left in his hand. He drops a prep. I was like, okay, he has Drytron Monsters Grave, so you know what? I'm just gonna negate. I negated his prep, and then he drops another preparation of rights, and he just went off from there. Like
yeah, he double Natasha'd.
Like I had Gamma in my hand, but then he used my own Savage to negate my Gamma, and I was like. So that was like one of the craziest matches I played on Dueling Book. But anyways, this deck really, I'm gonna look to play the old build with the VFD. When I do I'm gonna enter the Extravaganza, and I think I'm gonna do the VFD build again. But yeah, and going right into it, standard 3 Kepler Stratos, 3 of this standard fusion special summon, 3 graveyard fusion standard. Level 1. Lamia's standard. Gotta hate when you don't see this card, but this card just offers so much good combo play if you know how to play the deck correctly. Like, it's just too good, man. Triple cop. Should be standard. Foolish Burial. Gets a body on board. Really good for follow-up plays. I think, personally, this should be standard. I've seen people cut it to 2. Even 1, it depends what builds you're playing, but in the pure build, or this build anyways, just play this at 3. This card is special summon from Scale, special summon from Graveyard, very good for follow-up and combo if you really need. One-ofs, level 7 DD combo if you're going to go for the Link, DD Link, and DD Ghost is really good. This card can really help for your grind games, so yeah, really good card. Gonna do hand traps. Gamma and Driver. This card is really good against. You need to play some for a hand trap. So this acts as a pseudo call by. You don't always get it off as a call by, which kind of sucks because a lot of people are playing around Gamma. But this card actually is really good against something like Drytron because you just use it on Thuban. It can actually really screw them up if you use Thuban against Thuban. So I've always found that it works against it. So yeah. Gamma's really good going second. So should play that onto the spells. Triple Gate. very standard. 1 Swamp King, standard contract. Draw power, triple 1. So what I do for, since I'm going to go back to the VFD, playing the VFD in deck, I'm actually going to play try to play 2 copies of Jack in the hand. That card actually really helps the consistency, and when you do the VFD build that I showcased the other time, you don't need a Lammy in deck, so it's not too bad if you desire banish one. You only have 1 Lammy in your hand, so yeah, I definitely that's what I play because I'm going back to the VFD build. So yeah, triple where though. You gotta play this at 3. You can resolve this if you have 3 in your hand. You can resolve all 3. Really helps get to your combo pieces. You need to get to your level 1s in this deck, so it can be awkward sometimes. Sometimes you can't really resolve this properly, so. But it still lets you combo off better, so a lot better than nothing, right? And the 1 for 1 Call by the Grave. This is like your 4th Call by the Grave because of Gamma. Gamma I never actually got off as a Call by the Grave today, unfortunately. So yeah, that's what's kind of unfortunate. But a lot of people are playing around Gamma now, but you still need to play it in this deck. So yeah, extra deck. Nibiru, because I got Nibiru'd a few times today, but I can still play around Nibiru because the extenders, you just gotta know how to play, right? Fusions. I'm playing this. I'd like to play Diark in this build, but I took 1 card out, so yeah. So for the fusions, level 7 Synchro, Gus King Alexander, standard in this build. So for the level 8s, playing, so these 3 are your standard. You should be playing all 3 of these level 8s at all times, and Omega was my tech choice because in this build, since I'm not doing the VFD play that I made, like I said, if you watch my other video, I did a showcase of VFD thing. If you actually get Gamma off on your turn, you actually want to get Gamma off the board because it's taking up too much bodies in some certain scenarios. So this is why I'm playing the Gamma today. So Gamma's, I never actually was able to summon this, but like I said, I couldn't do the call by play, and in other situations, I usually always want to go in any of these 3, right? So yeah, but it was a good tech choice. So yeah. Shen, this is probably like one of the best synchros in the game right now. This card was so good today, especially against Drytron. Fortunately, game 3, the Drytron player actually equipped this with, I summoned it into this zone, and then he summons Anima and takes it, so that kind of sucked, but and then could have summoned the Generate or Geonator or whatever and still done like the same idea, right? So couldn't really play around that, but oh well. Synchros, the rest of the Synchros, the satellite package. Too good not to play.
The clock.
Yeah, the clock. Too good not to play. You gotta play that. Draw and then pop. So like 3 cards usually. The VFD build that I showcased usually it pops 4, but pop 3 is good enough in this deck. Links. Link 2s. So what I played. It's very standard for the deck. And I'm playing Caliuga. So I'm playing this build. The only thing with when I do the VFD, the last build I was playing, is that I'd either have to cut this or the Gilgamesh to have any sort of room. So I decided to just go with this so I could have the Gilgamesh and this for going second, right? So I actually never even summoned Caliuga today. I was never actually able to, but yeah. Yeah, that's it for the extra deck. That's 40 card main and 15 obviously extra deck. Be nice if you could have a 20 card extra deck, but the dogs are like playing with each other. Anyways, onto the side deck. So this today was Evenly. Evenlies are kind of stuck in the mail right now. They're not going to be in until like next week, I think. So this guy I actually really want to play. So yeah, even online these were Evenlies, but this guy I'd actually really try to fit. I couldn't fit this guy unfortunately, but there's a lot of times where this guy can come up. So I definitely try and play the big guy because he just equips something. A lot of times where you can just take the game, right? So yeah. So spell and trap removal on top of the Evenlies. Evenlies like a good form of spell and trap removal, right? And this is your search, your spell and trap removal that you can search, right? So yeah. That's why you play Orthros on the side. Don't want to main deck it, rather just have consistency. Triple Lancia. This card's, you have to side like 3 of this, or if you can main deck it. Triple Dark Ruler. Dark Ruler still really works well. Turns off boards for Drytron, right? So that's all you play it for. Droll, possibly like the best hand trap right now. Possibly like in impact situations, right? So Gotta play 3 of this. It's searchable through IR files, so like a lot of the games, if I'm going first, I'll just side out an upstart, and then I can, if I have enough combo pieces in hand, I can search this on top of everything, right? So
Yeah.
that's why this card's actually really good in this deck, because it's searchable. So yeah. So I hope you guys like that deck profile. Like I said, I'm probably gonna go back to playing VFD in the extra deck with the other level 9.
Crocosaur.
With the Crocosaur as well. VFD is just like an auto win, so this is good, but I feel like when you're playing certain decks,
Especially with Drytron being so
Drytron
heavy in the
and
meta.
if Virtual World opens good enough, they're just gonna get around that board, I think. So I know how to play Virtual World, so I know how to play around it, but I am gonna go back to VFD for the Extravaganza. So
Yeah.
it is a very consistent build still. So anyways, I came through with this deck today. Pretty decent sized tournament, and yeah, surprised how well I did. I know there's 2 guys that dropped, but still performed really well. Yeah, that's all I gotta say. Hope you guys like the deck profile. Like, subscribe, comments. That's all I gotta say. 2 dogs today. Yeah. All right, see you later, guys.
See you.